How's it going, guys? And welcome to your SmackDown review. So, this was it. This was the first show, and they said like in 70 weeks since they had a live crowd. And it was definitely great to have a live audience back. No more of these screens all zoomed in with all the, ugly faces. I'm sorry to say, but just being honest there, it was getting pretty tough to look at, to say the least. So, they had a new set. It was basically, all this set was, a new set was a big Tron, and I kind of like this, but, actually, I think I prefer the old set, because, at least there was a little bit of pizzazz. Like, there's no decoration on the stage at all now. It's just basically a big Titantron. And I mean, it is kind of a cool effect to have a big giant screen like this. This is something you'd expect at a WrestleMania, but it's just, people were pointing this out online. It's lazy because it's a lot easier to set up this stage than the ones that they used to do, which were more elaborate. I mean, you look at the pay-per-views and you see like they put no effort or thought in. Talking pre-pandemic here, for years and years, you look back, not even Attitude Era, just look back even just a few years ago, they used to at least put some thought into the designs of the pay-per-view. But I guess it's like maybe a little bit after the network where they just kind of stopped caring. You're paying $10 anyway for this, why do we and that's kind of you expect, though, with SmackDown, though. I mean, the show that's on Fox, when I heard a new set, I was like, oh, okay, good, but I should have known. It's these HD sets that they have. They're just bland, sterilized. They just, like I said, they have no design at all. Like, I reviewed the Raw game recently that for the Xbox. Go check out my retrospective on that. I think you'll have a lot to like with that one. People seem to be enjoying it. If you've checked it out already, I greatly appreciate it. But someone was saying, I love the stage in that game. And that was the Raw stage circa 2001, up until they had the original brand split in 2002. And it was a great stage. I mean, it just looked like it was gritty, but it still looked professional. You'd expect this from a multi-million-dollar company. But, this is just way too plain. You'd expect more from the greatest wrestling promotion, the biggest wrestling promotion in the world, wouldn't you? I don't know. Not a big fan, but I don't hate it at the same time, because I kind of did like the allure of having the big, huge, massive 50-foot tall Titantron. It was kind of cool to see that and see the Titantron videos playing behind the wrestler. There was more to it. The one thing I will say, what I do not like is, and they've been doing this on pay-per-views and, a little bit on Raw and SmackDown, but they now went into overdrive. They said they were going to use more effects. And that is kind of the reason why they're having these sterilized sets. Because, we could just make CGI graphics. And I don't like this, that they're doing these, like, they're not even projections. They're just, you're seeing images just, all on your screen. And it's just way too much. And it doesn't look good. Like having the big Roman Reigns there, to me, I don't know. It does not look good to me. I'm sure there's a lot of people probably watching this now. Brett, come on. It looks awesome. It's cool that they do that. I just, I've never been a big fan of CGI. I've talked about this in my movie reviews. I think it's overcompensation. I feel that a lot of times it's lazy because it's easier to do. Think about it. Instead of having lots of cool designs, now we're just going to basically just slap them all on your screen. Just a bunch of computer-generated images. That is really lazy. You don't have to actually make any cool overlays. It's just, here's some CGI images. It's just kind of lame to me. And it feels empty. Just like CGI, just, empty. And, there's nothing man-made feeling about it. It just feels like it's slapped together. So that I don't like. And they did say that they were going to do that ahead of time. But anyway, let's talk about the way how this show starts off. Vince McMahon comes out on the stage and all he says is, well, how have you been? That's basically what he says. That's it. Just 5 words, as Pat McAfee states. And I have to say, like, okay, you know, maybe they want to make, like, Vince as being affectionate, but, you know, he wants to still play his character. But at WrestleMania, did he not come out and say way more than that? I mean, what the hell? What the fuck was that? He just came out and like, well, how have you all been? Well, just fine, Vince. We've been just fine. I mean, like, I'm just saying. I've went on record, all the people that Vince McMahon's such a horrible boss. AEW's so much better. Tony Khan's the man. I've said this time and time again. If you ask me to name my top 10 favorite wrestling characters, I don't think I've put it this way to you. I've said that Vince McMahon is one of my favorite, characters of all time. I would say that he is a stronger character than a lot of WWE legends, to be quite honest, and I would put him ahead of a lot of talents. I can safely say that McMahon is probably the best actor. He's probably the funniest person on the current, ahead of the entire current roster. And I don't see how this is debatable, but I don't see it ever coming up in conversations as much as it should. Just how good of a showman Vince McMahon was. Going back and just watching classic McMahon during the Attitude Era. Forget about the Attitude Era. If you don't want to hear that, go watch him in the Ruthless Aggression era. See him feuding with Shawn Michaels. The man was downright hilarious. He was captivating to watch. His facial expressions unmatched. I mean, who does better facials than McMahon? Could you really name someone off the top of your head? No, he was pretty much the best when it came to that. And we're talking about, this is a guy that's not even a performer. He's a promoter. He's an owner. He's a boss. And somehow he outperformed a lot of his own talents. And the point I'm getting at here is all he's got to say is 5 words. I mean, he could at least thank the fans, and he could do it in his own McMahon way and still remain in character. I mean, I don't know really what this was supposed to be. It was really weird, and it kind of cements a lot of people's arguments about McMahon being the weirdo guy. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to, for me being a Vince Russo fan, all the stories he told about McMahon, they are pretty much all true. So McMahon is a weirdo, but that's kind of what makes the man lovable. The man has an allure. He has a notoriety to him. And he's just one of the best characters and people from an entertainment standpoint. Forget about what your personal feelings are, and he fired this guy, he fired that guy, whatever. Most of them were not going to get over anyway. Oh, Aleister Black, oh! But anyway, what I'm saying is I would have expected more from McMahon when he's got a live audience. This was his opportunity to make the connection. Because that's what I'm saying. This is a man who connected with the audience, who knew better than anybody. When given the right platform, he could entertain and connect with an audience. Here, there was a complete disconnect. I don't know what the hell this was supposed to be, but I don't know. That was a very strange and weird. And I don't know. I feel like even the live crowd had to be confused. The TV audience was confused. I don't know if anyone could really say this was the best way to come back, with McMahon coming out there looking all old and cutting a promo like that. I don't know if you could even classify it as a promo. It was more of a comment. Anyway, we start off in, 12 minutes, with all the entrances, and Roman Reigns is taking his way, getting his ass to the ring. The thing is, okay, I get it. It's part of its entrance. It's building up. But I've said this. You never saw this during the points when WWE was at its hottest. No one took all this time to get to the ring. Not even he is slow. They say it's the Undertaker entrance. He's walking way slower than the Undertaker. I mean, come on, this is the opening match, but whatever. When we get to it, it's a good match. And it was not dragged out. There was a commercial break in there, but it was Roman Reigns and the Usos, and they defeated Rey Mysterio, Dominic, and Edge. This was a good, quick match. This is like the way it used to be on SmackDown years ago, before they used to drag shit out, and just continue on with a match with no purpose, just to make it long, because the fans want longer matches. Yeah. This was perfect. This is the way the matches should be. You should have some, matches that, not a snap of the finger quick, but just adequate length. You're not, making people fall asleep with an overly long match. It does no business being that long. Get in, get out, save the longer format matches for the pay-per-view, because that's what pay-per-views are for matches. So here, we should be more focused on formatting an entertaining program, and that's exactly what you got here for the most part. Now at the end, I don't know. I felt like I understand what they did here. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm not saying it's wrong to have Edge, beat up Roman Reigns, and I'm getting sick of this already. Breaking pieces off chairs. So Roman Reigns does it, and I'm like, oh, now he's gonna do it to Edge to get heat. But no, Edge manages, to counter out of this and get a spear, and I don't know. Like I understand that they want him to hold up the belt and do something synonymous with the WrestleMania moment, so they could get the pop from the crowd. But and then he holds up the belt at the end, so it signifies there's a chance that he could become Universal Champion at Money in the Bank, and that's all good and well, and they want to pop the crowd their first night back. That's good. But to me, I felt like something more effective, because in a way, the crowd's already there. Wouldn't it be better if you're going to try to get people to watch Money in the Bank? Because basically everyone that's going to that show is going to watch Money in the Bank, right? They're all going to watch it tomorrow. No, no question about it, right? They're already wrestling fans. They're already WWE fans. They're already bought in. Wouldn't it be better to let Roman get heat on Edge? Look strong as the champion going into the pay-per-view. This way, Edge could have a bit of an underdog mentality. I don't know what this is, but no heels are allowed to have heat. For some reason, it's always got to be the baby face going strong into the pay-per-view. And this is it was never this way. It was rarely this way, because the whole purpose, and you could just, not even Russo, you could hear Cornette, countless people talking about this in various wrestling podcasts. People have been in the business, and it makes sense. Just think back when the heels used to get heat. So that way you go into the pay-per-view, and it's like the babyface has to fight from the bottom up, and it looks better in a story context. And so I don't really get they're just having for poetic justice this way. And that's exactly what it is. It's poetic justice. That's what this would be called. Because, he got the crossface with the piece of the chair from he got it on Jay, then he got it on Jimmy, then he got it both on Jimmy and Jay and Roman to start off with. Now it came full circle to him getting it on Roman again. So now we got a repeat. And I guess, we're doing it in front of the live crowd, but I don't know why they think this spot is so over. Biting down on a piece of a chair, is this really the best thing? I'm about to take that piece of the chair and shove it up my own ass. I'm getting sick of seeing that little piece. It's a decent spot, but I'm not marking out over this spot. They're making this is the best spot ever, and they're repeating it 1,000 times. It's like wrestlers going through the barricade. it's feeling stale already because you're repeating it so many times. I understand you want to tell it like a story, and I appreciate that part. And you might, oh, Brad, you say you want stories. Yeah, but like they're repeating the story. This is the whole problem I have with the Roman Reigns angle. And I started praising it more when you had the dissension in the ranks and the arguments with Jimmy Uso coming back with Jay. But now we've kind of gotten back to square one where we're kind of at a standstill once again with the Roman character, where there's no growth. Just all of a sudden, they all just started getting along out of nowhere. No dissension with Jimmy. It's just, Jimmy's not concerned about being Roman's bitch anymore. It's just like, oh, yeah, so he's dropping that T-shirt. Remember, nobody's bitch. They got rid of that T-shirt. And now we're already moving on to just one big happy, a family. One big happy bloodline again, which now that, they've referred to as the bloodline in this match, which I have not heard in a while. But yeah, I didn't really. I liked the match. I didn't really care for the business that they did after this. I just think it would have been better to have a huge crowd, booing Reigns and getting heat on him. Making him like, oh, you're trying to keep the baby face down. And that would have been better poetic justice. Have him do the spot to Edge, and they set it up, but they turned it around at the last minute. And I'm like, why? Just so they could get a pop from the crowd of Edge holding the belt? Okay, but like I just felt like it would have been better that way. But I could be wrong. And I'm sure there's people. Oh, that was awesome, no matter what. So whatever. And the other thing is, I took this down the notes. I almost forgot. Reigns visibly tapping out, too. Like, I don't know, but I just feel like this is a wrestler like Roman Reigns. You'd have, like, wrestlers that would, like, never tap out. And this should definitely be one of the wrestlers that should not tap out. That is, like, something that, like, a chicken shit heel should do, tapping out. Or at least save it for the pay-per-view. Here just having your first night back and Roman's already tapping. All right. We've got Seth Rollins backstage and we got Edge doing an interview. He gets stopped by Kayla Braxton. Rollins comes just off in the distance wearing a goofy ass, stars, kind of an American flag, but it's black and white stars and a red shirt, laughing his ass off. He is the Joker. I mean, basically what this is like Joker's Sting in TNA and Impact. But the thing is, Rollins, because of his voice, sounds better doing the laugh, actually. It's goofy as hell, but I'll admit to you guys, I laugh when he does the laugh because now it's become like a meme. He's gone so over the top that they're purposely doing it, so it's like a joke. And I'll be honest with you, I'm actually somewhat starting to like it. Like, it's kind of caught on because it's so goofy and he's doing it so frequently. Every single he comes out later on for the main event and he's just laughing his ass off all the time. And I say, why not do that with him? Paint his face up, go full goofball with it. Because I would actually really like that. Because, I mean, if he's doing the laugh, he's doing the Joker laugh. I mean, how else could you classify it as anything but that? So why not go full force with it? Paint the man's face. He's wearing the suit. Give him a little flower here. Maybe a little hand buzzer. Do a little Jack Nicholson action there. And I say you've got a winning combination there. Because I don't know what type of character this is supposed to be otherwise. He was like the Messiah. He's wearing one glove 1 week, not the next. And I don't even know. I really just don't know what the character's supposed to be. But it was kind of funny that he was doing this kind of laugh. And he says to Edge he's going to cash in on the person that made the cash in popular. Whatever, but I'll admit, I'll say it. I do kind of like this laugh because it's so goofy. It's funny to me, and I'm gonna say that probably is the point of it, and it's entertaining for the most part. So I'm okay with it now. It's better than Iowa's own or the Philly cheesesteaks are great. It's just better. I'd rather have him laugh his ass off than say all those stupid, cheesy lines that were not over and were embarrassing. We've got, and I think it's actually, this laugh is more over than Sasha Banks' stupid cackling and Bailey's laugh. Sami Zayn comes back and he started getting his fire back here, doing the conspiracy, trying to get the crowd to chant along with him. But what is this off again, on again with the conspiracy? Just stick to it. What happened to the trailer? What happened to Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia making graphs about, how things were spiraling out of control? There's so much potential and it's so untapped. And then Finn Balor returns for no apparent reason, just attacks Sami Zayn. Why? Why? Pat McAfee asking, why? And McAfee is trying to sell it. God bless his heart, trying to make, such a cool dude with the leather jacket, and here we are. It's not even the Demon. It's Finn Balor. And, I don't know. They say Prince on the Titantron, like Prince Devitt, but he's not Prince Devitt, so I don't even know why it's there. Did they start calling him the Prince? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. I'm just saying, why are we doing this if his name's not Prince Devitt? He's being called the Prince now, or whatever. They just started this now, but he's on the main roster now, not carrying Cross, but Finn Balor. Can I ask a question? Besides the fact of why it attacked Sami Zayn, but why are we bringing this guy back after you showed the audience that Finn Balor ain't worth a damn to the main roster because you sent his ass down to NXT. And that pretty much proved that the main roster didn't need him. When you send someone down to developmental, it sends the message that they're not needed on the main roster. And you're damn right that he was not needed. He was not over. They realized that they made a huge, massive mistake with Finn Balor being the first ever Universal Champion. They gave him his match against Brock Lesnar. They realized that was a huge mistake. They started jobbing him out. They jobbed him out to the Fiend. And I was like, yeah, Finn Balor was a failed experiment. They should have never put all the stock into this guy. Remember when he pinned Roman Reigns? People were fine with it, back then when people hated Reigns. But, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of goofballs like JD backpedaling on that one if questioned about it now. Now we all of a sudden supposed to be expected to jump on the Finn Balor bandwagon. He's looking better than ever. He looks the same. I'm telling you, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like I said, this is Triple H's boy here. I don't understand how Sheamus could be your boy. Sheamus was a gift to the WWE. It was a great decision for Triple H to refer Sheamus, his workout partner, to WWE because the guy looked the part, he played the part, and he looked like a star. And he wrestled like a star. It goes without saying. Maybe I know some people that don't like Sheamus, but then you have these other goofball picks like Brad Maddox, where the guy was not good with promos. He wasn't good with wrestling. He was good for nothing. He was a good for nothing. Right? So, I don't understand what happened, a few years apart. And now you have Finn Balor, all these, you know, goofy pick. Like, what happened? Remember when Cassius Ohno, remember when Chris Hero refused to work out? He refused to go to the gym, and Triple H sent his ass packing. Remember, he had the guy fired because he's like, you know, you can't be in wrestling and not be concerned about your physical fitness. So they got rid of him, and justly so. I mean, like, you know, here's the guy directly defying orders. You know, if Triple H is his boss, he has to listen to him. And he outright tells him, I don't want to go. Can you imagine that? Like, this is a wrestling program. You're a wrestler where everyone's looking at your body. It's all eyes on you. And you straight out refuse, you know, to work out. And so, you know, we got the thing going here. And this is the thing. So now it's all eyes on Balor when it should be all eyes on Zayn. And I don't get why Zayn is not in the Money in the Bank. Like, I'm saying, like, that is the perfect match for Zayn, where he can sneak in and try to do sneaky things to try to get the briefcase with his character. But I guess they don't see it that way. Instead, we got goofball Balor coming back with his cool leather jacket. The Fonz is back. Hey, you know, maybe he'll elbow a jukebox again. What a goofball. Talk about jumping the shark. It was the Fonz who jumped the shark. Wink, wink. Here we go again with Balor. Take 3, take 62 with Finn Balor. Again with this guy. After we got rid of this guy and sent him to NXT, we're bringing him back. For what reason? This guy is going to suddenly magically become a draw with his cool leather jacket? I don't get it. They play a video package for Apollo Crews. They say he's going to be back in action soon. I don't know what happened to him. Did he get in trouble? Did he get injured? I don't know. Shotzi Blackheart, or just Shotzi, and not Tegan Knox. I think it's just Knox now. So I'm thinking of like Mike Knox. I'm like, you know, I know it's not his daughter or anything, but I'm just like, I just have a permanent image of Mike Knox in my brain when I hear Tegan Knox. So not only is it a superior talent I'm thinking of, but anyway, so they go to commercial. When they come back, like, I don't understand. Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega are magically out there. So, like, what happened? Like, when Shotzi and Knox came out, did they, like, come down the ramp in front of the live crowd? Like, why didn't they come out first? Or were they already originally sitting there? I'm just like, what? Like, how did that happen? And this commentary, by the way, forget about this match. Like, Shotzi and Knox, talk about they just look like amateurs in there. It looked better than last week. But to me, first of all, Tegan Knox has got to be the most plain looking wrestler I've ever seen. I'm just saying, like, nothing with the appearance, the face, nothing's there. Shotzi, yeah, she's going for a look and everything. Fine. You know, the tank entrance, that's there. It's something. But, like, you know, Shotzi, like, they talk about overrated. You know, first of all, overrated in a lot of ways. People saying she's the hottest thing. She's attractive, but she's not beautiful. All right, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying like this. You know, you got a bad looking girl here, but I'm just saying, you know, and you'd say maybe this, you know, that'd be my style. You know, the tattoos and everything, the green hair. You know, I'm not like the biggest fan of green hair, but I don't know. I'm not saying. I just say, gee, I wouldn't buy what she's selling on eBay. Let's put it that way. Okay. So, but anyway, but the wrestling is just overrated, and she's the same goofball that put the trash can on her and jumped off the top of a cage. Yeah, she's really intelligent. And we've got Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega. with just the most absolute ear-grating commentary I ever heard. And, you know, you could say it wasn't scripted, but it sounded stupid. It sounded childish. It was annoying to listen to. They're annoying. Both of them are very annoying. Did people actually seriously, like, pay Zelina Vega? Did they actually donate to her on Twitch with that annoying voice? Like, listening to her? Wow. I can't believe it. I mean, just listening to her for like 5 minutes on commentary was complete torture. I think it was probably even more annoying than Brandy Rhodes, and that's saying something. Maybe I wouldn't go that far. I don't think too much could be worse than that, but it came pretty close. Anyway, you know, you got a fight breaking out, and you know, it distracts Natalya from doing the sharpshooter. Then you got Tegan Knox, I think it was Tegan, who did the small package. Oh, it's a roll-up. Oh, gotcha. Another little cute indie Japanese finish. You know, gotcha in the roll-up. At least it wasn't a schoolboy this time. It was a small package. See, so it's different, guys. Yeah. Then, you know, so they run away, and it's like the greatest victory. They're celebrating like what Kurt Angle used to do as a gimmick, like almost in tears because he won. But that was a gimmick. It was played for comedic effect. Here they're like, oh my god, I can't believe I won. Okay, so they beat the women's tag champs. Great, fantastic, biggest win of their careers. Then you've got Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega. They like go Super Saiyan here, and Liv Morgan like screams in Natalya's face and then starts beating up. And this is just looking really stupid. You've got Natalya who's jacked, and you've got Tamina. You got two of the toughest women here, and what do we got here? We got two little petite girls beating up the two powerhouses, which is one of the most ridiculous things I've seen out of the women in a long time. I mean, Liv Morgan is screaming in Natalya's face and beating her up. Like, I'm really sitting here and supposed to believe, oh, she's getting an adrenaline rush. What a tough, like, first of all, after that embarrassing performance where these are two girls that sounded like they got into a fight waiting in line at Starbucks, for God's sakes. Anyway, let's move on here. This Shotzi and Tegan, this ain't gonna last long. They're gonna be out before you know it. I don't know, maybe they might give them a run with the tag titles or something, but anyway, we've got Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks at the ESPYs. No comment on Sasha? Like, not that I'm the biggest Sasha Banks fan, as you guys all know, but like, here is Sasha Banks, who's hasn't been heard from since WrestleMania. She's not injured as far as I know. She doesn't look injured. She's not wearing a cast. She doesn't have a brace on or anything. So why is she not there? No comment given, but like, didn't Bianca Belair look so much better with that weave in her hair? Just a normal, you know, weave, you know, just a traditional looking, you know, just long hair, no stupid long ponytail down to her ankles. You know, but I don't get it. Like, she's got to have that because that's her gimmick. She's got to come out dancing, swinging that stupid thing around, looking all ridiculous with this giant hair extension. But, you know, they think it's over or whatever it is. Hair is over. Hair is over. A hair extension is over. A hair extension is a gimmick. Go figure. But she looked really good and so much more attractive with just that regular, you know, just long, regular, you know, hair, just a regular long hair weave. It looked good on her, and it fit her face so much better, you know, than seeing her with that ridiculous looking ponytail. 'Cause she's a good-looking girl. She is, but it looks stupid. It really does. Anyway, Belair and Carmella have a match. It's not a bad match. It's pretty decent, actually. Bianca Belair gets the win. She whips... I'm getting so sick and tired of them using the hair. Carmella grabbing the hair. Oh, she's got her by the hair. You know, and then Bianca using it as a weapon. And then hitting the KOD. Like, just... You don't need that shit. It just looks goofy. Using your hair as a weapon. Get the hell out of here. Seriously, that is like something where they think it's over, but it's not. Like, you know, would people like Belair any less if she took out that huge ass hair extension? I don't think so. I don't think it would really matter that much. Then we got backstage. We've got Otis, and we got Chad Gable cutting a promo for him. And you know, I gotta tell you, just seeing Otis there, some people may disagree, but I think he looks better without the beard and without the ponytail. I think that this is the right look for this guy, and it was like a hidden gimmick. I don't know who thought this up, or if it was Otis's idea, or who pitched this, but this was a great idea. And it's just sad that I know they're going to fuck it up in the end. I just know that they are. Because here we go. We got Cesaro. So Otis beats up Cesaro. Then we got a package for Toni Storm. And, you know, a lot of people put in the comments about Toni Storm. I can't help but think of the late Ashley Mazzaro. You know, with the hat on backwards. She's an attractive girl and everything. It remains to be seen if I'm going to be a fan of hers. I mean, you know, I've seen her in the Royal Rumbles. I don't think I've ever really watched her in NXT. You know, whenever she had Survivor Series when they did the NXT, when they did the 3-way brands. So there's that. So, you know, we'll see what happens with Toni. I reserve my opinion on her. So we get a match between Cesaro and Otis. Gable jumps in early, which was kind of weird because it didn't really seem like Otis was in trouble. But anyway, it led to a beatdown, so I guess that's what it was. They didn't want to have a finish here. Please do not have Cesaro going over on Otis. You've got gold here. You've got a guy that is trying his damnedest with some really good facials. I mean, this guy was booked to be a goof. And not that he didn't play the goof well, he did. I complimented on him back then, you know, when he was doing the tuck thing, and it was funny, and I enjoyed it, but, you know, they didn't flesh it out enough. We talked about the comparisons to the late Chris Farley, you know, so there was that, and now we have something which is arguably, and I believe, better. I mean, I seriously, when I look at this guy, I am getting a straight-up Vader vibe from him. Just badass, a big dude, power lifter. He looks awesome. Just, you know, the ship has sailed with Cesaro. I mean, it's enough already with Cesaro. I'm sorry, but there's nothing you're going to get out of this guy at this point. You know, you've already flattened his push. You know, getting beat by Rollins 1,000 times. You know, losing to Roman Reigns as everyone could have predicted under the sun. Now it's time to give Otis a chance. And don't fuck that up either, is all I'm saying. But, you know, it was good. And, you know, well, the segment was okay. I mean, it was another beatdown. This is another thing. Like, they repeat so many things. Beatdown, beatdown, beatdown. All right, let's tell this story from another angle. You know, let's do some different things, because again, it's getting like the Edge storyline with Roman Reigns, where we're repeating the same spot. You know, we're trying to get, I get some sense of continuity with the segments, that he's doing this to everybody, but we can't just have him doing the same thing to everybody without any variety to it. Then we get Heyman backstage, and Big E is like, I thought it was kind of funny. I was just straight up like laughing that Roman got owned by Edge. But like he's acting like a New Day member, and he's wearing the New Day members on his jacket. So it's like he's still a New Day member, even though he's split up from them. Isn't it time to leave the goofballery behind? I mean, it's enough already with this. Like, he's acting like a New Day member, even though he's not a part of them anymore. Can we, like, end this group already? You know, why is he, like, tied to them? Like, and you damn well know that when they do the next, you know, brand split, they're going to probably put them back together and say, well, oh, Big E couldn't get over on his own. You know, probably because they have not put him in a position to do so. That everyone's always set up for failure in the end. Anyway, we move on from that. Corbin comes out and he's got Corbin Fund Me. And this is actually a real thing. He shows the webpage on the Titantron. I went and I typed it in. It's actually real. So I like that they're committed to the bit and I like this. I really do. I just hope that the Happy Corbin stuff that they trademarked, I hope that they think better of that and they don't try to make it like, well, you know, Corbin now is going to be a babyface and he's going to pay for his evil ways. And, you know, this is kind of the way of making the heel pay for his past transgressions. I get it. But, you know, it's more sympathetic. And I don't really particularly think that having Owens come out there and give him the stunner, unless they're trying to just pour on as much, you know, support as you can for Corbin, try to get you to love him through that by feeling sorry for him. But I don't think we need to have the, you know, the baby faces, you know, acting like total assholes to him. Because that's not going to do anything for them either. Like, I'm saying, like, having Boogs laugh in his face and making jokes and stuff, I don't get what that really does. But, you know, Corbin, for all the people that bashed him and everything, this is why I always consistently supported this man. Even though, you know, they were having him do this goofy thing with the crown and everything, I've always said, Corbin has a look, you know, whenever he was on screen cutting a promo, he always seemed like he belonged, and I never really understood all the hate for this guy. And when I did watch NXT, I thought that he was masterful in the way how he would really just troll the Smarks continuously. And he was very self-aware with his character. That was a good piece of work there that I don't think gets enough credit. It's probably because the Smarks didn't like it because it was tongue-in-cheek and it was against them. And that was funny. But yeah, this is another thing. You know, he's growing out his beard. He had a stained shirt. He's growing in, you know, his hair, so you could just kind of see his receded hairline. So I think it's funny how he's down on his luck. And you know, it's done in the way where it's not really burying him, because you could clearly see that it's character building. And I kind of feel like if this took place during any other era, it'd be done 10 times better. But it is good and it is interesting, and I kind of am looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with him next week. So we get Owens, you know, giving them the stunner, which I said didn't really do a lot for me. I don't think really did anything for Corbin or for Owens or anyone. Then we get this fatal 4-way, and it's Rollins defeating Big E, Kevin Owens, and Naka Murphy. And of course, we got Owens going off the top of the ladder. First of all, yeah, so we got Rollins. He does the curb stomp onto Big E, onto the ladder. And, you know, I guess this is not a disqualification. Like, all this shit is going on. It's total chaos and no one's getting disqualified. I mean, that's always been a classic thing. You know, if someone had a chair and it was laying down, if you did a move onto the chair, but like a whole ladder, I just kind of thought that was a little bit ridiculous. I mean, it wasn't like an accident, like it just happened. It's like it's a big fucking ladder in the ring, so that's kind of ridiculous. This is kind of like reminding me a little bit of AEW, where the referee is just a complete, like, do nothing, letting guys just run all over the place, ho, 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 with no control, like hands up in the air, you know, oh, I can't do anything. Meanwhile, people are hitting topes from every direction. So, you know, it wasn't bad or anything, and it was short, which was nice, but man, like, not only are we seeing half of the competitors already wrestle each other, we're seeing already a big spot with Owens hitting an elbow drop. I mean, maybe something special for the live crowd, I suppose. But then also at the end, we've got Rollins scaling the ladder and actually taking the briefcase off. Like, all the visuals, like all the anticipation, you're getting all the big spots here. You're getting the big spot off the ladder. You're getting the climbing the ladder spot. You know, you're getting to see the ladder being used already. I mean, you would. Why was this not necessary back during the Ruthless Aggression era to promote a Money in the Bank match? You'd have qualifying matches, yes, but you wouldn't have to have, oh, we got to use all these ladders and stuff. And, you know, it's bad enough for several weeks we have to see the Money in the Bank hanging there to the point where, you know, we're already sick of seeing it. I don't really get that. Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I understand the WrestleMania sign, but to have the Money in the Bank hanging up there, yeah, we get it. There's going to be briefcases hanging above. That's basically what Money in the Bank is. It's the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think we all know at this point it's going to be up there. Even if you've never seen a Money in the Bank pay-per-view or match before, all you have to say is there's going to be a briefcase. You don't have to just visually shove it in our face every 2 seconds. I'm saying there's no spectacle. There's nothing to be left up to the imagination at the pay-per-view, because you've basically seen it all. You've seen everyone wrestling each other 1,000 times. Now they're just all going to be together. Look, overall, there were entertaining parts of this SmackDown. You know, there was certain things to like about it. You had a good opening match and everything. Like I said, I'm sort of warming up to the whole ridiculous Seth Rollins laughing gimmick. I mean, I think he does it well for the most part. It's probably my favorite iteration of Seth Rollins, which is not saying much, but at least he's entertaining. You know, the Belair Carmella match, not bad. You know, they made Otis look strong, but they need to move on from that already. You know, and the main event, even though they gave a lot away, it wasn't like a bad display for what it was. So, you know, and it was nice not to see goofballs on screens for a change, all right? And McMahon's opening promo was still very, very odd, to say the least. All right? So there you go. There is your review of the first live crowd SmackDown in 70 weeks. And it was decent enough, I suppose. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't awful. It wasn't great. It was barely, it wasn't even good. I mean, it was just passable, I suppose. Nice. Little added spectacle of seeing a new stage, even though it was uninspired, and seeing the crowd there. But, you know, that allure is going to be gone next week, okay? So that's, that you can't use that. Oh, there's a live crowd. Yeah, okay, we've seen it now. Now we're going to see it again next week. So we'll take that out of the equation. Anyway, guys, what did you think? Let me know down in the comments down below, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you get all notifications when I post all my new videos. I want to thank all my patrons for your continued support. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time. Ha ha!